Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Mindful Meditation. I'm excited to see you all joining us today. And this is also a recording for a meditation for the Clinical Informatics and Practice Support Team, which is located in Wisconsin and Minnesota, and will be used for their Professional Development Day. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here for that you took the time for yourself to, to just calm down, relax, refocus, no matter what your day has been so far and what else is going to happen. This is just a time for just kind of really taking care of yourself and letting go of everything else that has happened or that is about to happen. So the topic today is the 5 essentials of meditation, and these are 5 strategies, mind strategies really, to get the most out of the meditation. And instead of me just lecturing and telling them all about them one by one, I'm going to integrate them as I guide you through the meditation. So meditation is really a strategy to help us to focus our mind, which is not necessarily easy for anybody who's ever tried to really focus on one thing. Our mind likes to be all over the place. So I often I compare it to like walking like a puppy dog or something, like puppy dog is like all over the place and it's like wrapping the leash around your legs. And so by training your dog might actually learn to actually walk straight with you, and it's not as much of a distracted animal. And so our minds are kind of like puppy dogs that need to be retrained as well. And we do that through very conscious practice of mindfulness and meditation. So some people think, oh, meditation, that's just for people that are, like Hindus or Buddhists or that are yogis. But it's just a super practical strategy, especially in this time of major distraction. Like social media, just media in general, we're busy. And those of you that work at a computer, there's like constantly things coming in. You have to react to things. It's hard to actually complete a task because there's always all these different things that happen that are wanting our attention. And our minds are used to that. So once we actually do something like meditation and we're asking our mind to just be focusing on one thing, the mind is not necessarily super excited about that. So that's where these 5 essentials are coming in. They're just ways to get realistic expectations and to have the right mindset for this practice. And the benefits, if we look at the research, the benefits are incredible, like physical health, mental health, emotional health, relationships, productivity, creativity. There's a ton of benefits, and it makes it so worthwhile to do it, even at times where you think, oh gosh, I'm not good at this. Or like my patients, they're like, oh, I tried it, I can't meditate, my mind's all over the place. I'm like, well, join the group. That's just our problem. That is our problem, and that's why we meditate. And so during meditation, we learn to focus either on the breath or on a mantra, like a word or a small sentence or a visual. My cats seem to meditate on white walls. I just look at them and they stare at something. I have no idea what they're staring at. But in a way, they're like my little Zen masters. They can just sit there and stare at something for minutes on end. And that's really what we're doing too. We're training our mind, our brain, to just be able to focus on something. And when our mind is more stable, we actually have more calm. And our body responds to that as well. And our partners, our friends respond to that because we're actually paying attention. And our work is easier because we're paying attention. We're making fewer mistakes. We might also be safer drivers. So there's tons of benefits, but I'm just going to guide you through. So we're actually going to start. If you've been sitting a long time, by all means, feel free to stand up. I'm staying seated, otherwise you're just staring at my navel probably if I'm standing up right now. So I'll stay seated, but let's start with a couple of movements. I like to always start with shaking the hands. Just shake your hands out, especially if you've been typing. And as if there's water drops on them. And then let your arms hang next to your body and just roll your shoulders around. If they creak a little bit, it's okay. Just rolling them. Maybe taking a couple of deep breaths while we're doing that. I'm going backwards right now, but let's do a few going forward. And the reason we do that is just to get the body ready for sitting still for a few minutes. And so now go ahead and clasp your hands together and then bring them overhead with your fingers, your index fingers sticking out, just reaching up all the way overhead. And then maybe look up at the hands if that's okay on your neck. Just reaching up, lift your chest forward, make yourself tall. I already feel better doing this, I hope you do too. And then bring it down. Then hike your shoulders up to your ears and feel the tension in your neck. On your next out breath, just drop it down. Let's do it again, but a little smaller, like halfway. Tightening and letting go. Do it again, but only a quarter, like a teeny tiny bit of lifting up the shoulders and drop them down. Last one is just 10%, barely moving, just a little tension. On your out breath, dropping it down. Feel the difference, how your shoulders are now relaxing away from your ears. And then go ahead and place your hands on your legs, and it could be palms up or down on your thighs. Either way, whatever feels more stable to you. So sit down when you're, if you were standing. Just wiggle side to side a bit, one butt cheek to the other. And then just find just a perfect spot right in the center of those buttocks. And also move a little forward, move a little back. And ideally you're sitting straight on your sit bones and not on your tailbone. So sit really back in your chair. And then a lot of people are like, oh, meditation is about relaxing. And to a degree that's true, but it's not about slumping in the chair. So keep a nice alert posture. Dignified posture is another expression in meditation circles. And that means we're sitting up tall, chest is forward a little bit. And the chin is slightly down. And then allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. And if you prefer not to do that, you can always gaze down at the floor or at your desk. I will be closing my eyes, but now and then I open them to see how everybody's doing here. Or if there's any comments. And I keep track of the time, of course. So allow yourself to sit comfortably. Just enough tension in the body to stay upright, but no more. So see where you can soften. See where you can relax. I would encourage the face. See if you can allow your face to be without expression. At most, have a little tiny smile on your face. But otherwise, just simply allowing relaxation of the forehead, the eyes, the jaw. The lips are together lightly, and the tip of the tongue might be right above the top teeth, or just resting at the bottom of the mouth, whichever you prefer. And notice that there's a little space between your top and bottom teeth. And then allowing the shoulders to relax away from the ears. Typically we have a lot of tension in those neck muscles. And if you have back support behind you, allow yourself to rest against the backrest. But again, still keeping a nice alert posture, no slumping. Allowing the belly to be soft. So you don't have to suck your stomach in, allow it to soften. Because it's hard to breathe when the belly is sucked in. So just allow your belly to rest. And then notice if your buttocks are relaxed as well. So here it's almost like your bottom is sinking into your chair. Really allowing yourself to be supported. And then allowing the thighs to really rest on your chair. It's okay if you need to change position a little bit, but make sure you don't just sit and wiggle back and forth, and don't make it like a nervous thing where you keep changing your posture. Be very deliberate about it. Lower legs relaxed, and feel your feet as they're resting on the floor or in your shoes. If you're sitting cross-legged, just make a modification for my instructions. I'm assuming that most of us are not sitting cross-legged. Notice if you can feel your toes, all your toes, from your big toe all the way to the little toes. Allowing the body to be soft, allowing any unnecessary tension to go. Sometimes it's only during a practice like this that we become aware that there is quite a bit of tension in our body. So just see, be kind to yourself. See if you can just let it go. Maybe take a few nice, long, calm breaths, ideally in and out through the nose. With each out breath, having that attitude of letting go of expectations. We cannot show up to our meditation practice with an idea of what it's going to be like because we don't know. And even after meditating for many, many, many years, I don't know what each meditation practice will bring. So we simply show up with a beginner's mind, a little bit of a curiosity. Letting go of any busyness from earlier in the day, and even letting go of whatever the afternoon is going to bring. All our awareness, all our attention in this present moment with this breath. And you can continue to briefly scan the body, just briefly, like the face, the arms, the torso, the thighs. And anytime you feel unnecessary tension, just see if you can let it go with an out breath. You might notice that now and then there will be an extra deep breath or a somewhat shallower breath. Just for now, allow the breath to move as it wants. We're no longer controlling the breath. We're simply breathing naturally. And we're going to be observing the breath as it moves in and out of the body. So today, that is our focus of our meditation, to stay present with our breath. So bring curiosity to this process of breathing that in a way seems so uninteresting, but actually is quite interesting. We can notice the subtleties of the air moving in and out of our nostrils, and how the air feels different as it's moving into the nostrils compared to moving out of the nostrils. You can even notice a difference between right and left nostril. So see if you can keep your breath just natural. No need to create a particular pattern. Besides that, ideally breathing happens through the nose, in and out, filtering the air, moisturizing and warming the air as it moves in, and then slowing the air as it moves out. And all this helps with calming our whole nervous system. Moving our nervous system to the rest and digest mode versus the fight-flight mode. We can also bring the awareness to the sensations that happen in our torso, our chest, our belly, our back, as a result of the breath moving in and out of the body. Now, what you might notice is that sometimes the mind starts wandering. All of a sudden, you might find yourself no longer paying attention to the breath, but instead something different. Maybe you're planning, maybe you're digesting something that happened earlier, or maybe you have a running commentary about the practice. It's completely normal, and it's actually a bonus point if you actually caught yourself doing that. So what you do at that point is bringing your awareness right back to the breath. No scolding yourself, no telling yourself you're a bad meditator. You simply bring it back. And this might happen over and over and over again, and that is what we call practicing meditation. Because typically our mind will not just stay with that breath. It wants to go elsewhere. So simply staying kind to yourself, just simply bring it back, even if that happens over and over. So have a positive attitude about redirecting the mind to the present moment, to the sensations of breath. Making sure the posture is still nice and tall, chin is still lightly tucked, shoulders are still relaxing away from the ears. And we just allow ourselves to rest while staying present and aware of the sensations of breathing. For some, it might be easiest to maintain awareness of the sensations in the nostrils. For others, it might be easier to keep the awareness with the sensations in the belly or in the chest. Choose where you want to keep that focus. And for the next few minutes, that's where you're going to stay. Sometimes people say, I kind of like to focus on the whole body breathing. That's another option, of course. Feeling a sense of expansion of the whole body on the in-breath, and a recoil, relaxation, letting go on the out-breath. So we're training our mind when we keep redirecting the mind to the breath, to this present moment. So we don't try very hard. It's a very effortless practice, really. No straining. Just as it is easy to hear my voice, that's about the amount of effort you want to put into your meditation practice. Just keeping it easy. Allowing yourself to relax. If you find it helpful, during the in-breath, you can mentally repeat the word in. And during the out-breath, out. Just mentally, silently. You might use the whole in-breath In and the whole out breath. Out. Sometimes that helps with focusing the mind. You're doing it right as long as you stay kind to yourself and you just keep redirecting your mind to the breath. Stay like this for just another minute or two. And then releasing the focus on the breath and simply allow your attention to go where it wants to go and observe where your attention goes. Perhaps to sounds, perhaps to feelings, perhaps to thoughts. Just notice. You can keep your eyes closed for another moment, and I'm going to read the 5 essentials of meditation. Number 1, be kind to yourself, and I would add at all times. Number 2, it's okay to have thoughts. It's completely normal. We simply redirect our mind back to whatever we chose to focus on. Don't try too hard is number 3, so no straining in meditation. Number 4, let go of expectations. We never know what the meditation practice will be like. And the last one is stick with it. Meaning if you do it once or twice or 1 week and you're like, oh, I don't feel enlightened quite yet, or I don't have like a Zen Buddhist or totally peaceful mind. Well, this takes time. Just like you don't go to the gym and pick up a bunch of weights and have like amazing biceps within a week. You know, it's a process. But I can guarantee you, and it's evidence is plenty, you literally change your nervous system with a regular practice of meditation. So I hope that you will actually, if you weren't already having a practice, that you will consider starting a practice. And if you are practicing, let this be a reminder, a motivator to really stick with it. Go ahead and you can keep your eyes closed for a moment. Rub your hands together until they're nice and warm. And then place your hands over your heart, one hand on top of the other, so center of the chest. Allow the warmth of your hands to penetrate your heart. You might consider the sensations of peace and calm that you feel right now. Consider imagining radiating those out to those in need. It could be people with you in the room, people you saw on the news, people in your family, friends, anywhere. Just radiating that out, just sending a little energy virtual hug to them, sending them some love. When that feels complete, with your gaze down, allow your eyes to open and let some light come to your eyes. And if you like, place the palms of your hands together in a prayer position, namaste position. And I like to bow to you for out of respect for showing up and meditating with me. And I hope to see you again. So every first and third Monday at noon Arizona time, we meditate together. And by the way, my name is Pauline Lucas, and I'm a physical therapist here in Phoenix, Arizona. I hope to see you again, and I'm always happy to get comments and feedback and questions. Take care. See you all next time.